Welcome Yamhill County to Speaking Frankly. I'm your host, Howie Harkema, and our tagline is, "And how we doin'?" Today I have a larger than usual panel with me. We have 4 people, and we're going to talk about piecing community together, which is one of our local events. First of all, I have Heidi Lindell, who's the Executive Director of Hope on the Hill. Thank you, Heidi, for being here. We have Nidia Wheeler, who's the event coordinator for Piecing Community Together.
Hey, Howie.
Thank you for being on. We have Ty Williams, who's the Director of Development at the Cooperative Ministries Community Compassion Fund. Thank you for being here, Ty.
Proud to be here.
And Trina Long, who is our Piecing Community Together Kitchen Supervisor. Thank you, Trina.
Hi.
We've already had a long day, but we're going to make it even more fun now. So, Heidi, what is Piecing Community Together?
Piecing Community Together is an opportunity for the community to come together, enjoy an amazing meal, listen to some live music. Sometimes there's art and games and other things that they can enjoy together side by side with our homeless population.
Nidia?
One of the things that I loved is actually Heidi worded it on our sponsorship letter that says that it's just people. It's just people coming together regardless of any social barriers, any social status. We're just people enjoying a meal together.
That's awesome. So who are the founders of this important event?
The event kind of originated when you and I came together with Lori Muller, who preceded Ty at the Compassion Fund over at the Co-op.
Right.
There still is a lot of discussion in our community. It's a really hot button topic, the homelessness issue, and the best way to serve them and the best way for our community to come together. So we were brainstorming, we were talking about it. Hope on the Hill had some food available that they wanted to use to serve the homeless population. There had recently been some outreach events in Seattle and in Utah and some other areas that really utilized art as a way to bring humanity to the discussion.
Yes.
And so it really started at just the table with the 3 of us kind of talking that through and how could we come together as a community and bring in other community stakeholders to really bring that humanity to the forefront of the discussion.
And that's exactly what it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So where, when, and what time of the month and what time of the day is this monthly event?
So each month on the second Thursday from 5 to 7 we hold this event at the McMinnville Cooperative Ministries. The address is 544 Northeast 2nd Street here in McMinnville.
And it's in the great room.
Yeah, we hold it in our great room, which we proudly contribute to the event so that we can make use of the commercial kitchen. There's no charge to the event, and we're just proud to bring in the community and integrate the homeless population so that we break down those barriers that are always present.
Right, there is no us and them. It's only us. We're all in this together.
Right.
We're all people. We're all human beings.
Right.
And we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. And those that are homeless deserve a voice.
Right.
So that is really important. So would you like to talk about the great room and some of the contributions that the Cooperative Ministries has done, Ty, to make this all happen? It takes a lot.
Yeah, so we have a professional sound system that typically it's a fee to use. The Cooperative Ministries is overly gracious in just giving us the use of the entire facility. That entails everything from cleanup to setup to the electricity,
Water.
Water. It's all there's a cost associated to it all, but there's no cost of bringing the community together that we wouldn't be willing to pay.
Don't you think the benefits outweigh everything else?
When you see the art and the humanity of the people while they eat and share, just everyday stories about today, and it doesn't become anything but a healing event.
Absolutely.
For the community. And when you see people in the community recognize folks from that event and greet each other in a manner that you would hope everybody treated everybody,
That's
the
right.
same. So it's been great. As far as the cooperative ministries, we'd love to host this event, and we wish that the community would come in and take a little more activity to the homeless population, not just with donating and financing, just with humanity. Just the
Right.
kindness of
Caring,
saying,
compassion.
of hello, hi, a friendly smile. It goes a long way for a lot of folks.
So this event originally was just going to be one time, but here we are 12 months later.
Yeah. Anybody that was in the room that first night knew without a doubt it could not be one time.
Right.
There was something so special and so magical that takes place at those tables that it needed to keep happening.
Absolutely. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the attendance. The first time that we did this, we had about 45 to 50 people. And we've had as many as 135 attendees now. And to let the community know that about 70 to 80% are the homeless and those in poverty and the underserved of McMinnville and Yamhill County. And the numbers of community members that are coming in to meet with our homeless population and to interact and get to know them is anywhere from 20 to 30%. We're hopeful that within the next year that it becomes a 50-50. So that it's 50% our homeless population and 50% community members getting to know that they're no different than us.
Absolutely.
So, first year anniversary is coming up in October. How excited are we all?
It's really exciting, for sure.
So, Paul, could you bring up that video from Hope on the Hill that was shot at Peace and Community Together, please?
This event has impacted me personally. It's brought me closer with the community that surrounds me directly. The homeless community is directly in my neighborhood, so I interact with them on a daily basis. So to get to come here every day gives me or every month, once a month, gives me a chance to interact with them and build personal relationships.
I think events like this is great for the soul and heart to, bring the community better together to better understand the reality of homelessness and the great love that the community has for their people.
I think this event is a great event to increase awareness to our community of our homeless problem and allow interaction to occur. So the thing that I've gained out of this is I'm able to go around and talk to a lot of people that are homeless and find out all the different situations that could create that.
Well, my mom, when I was little, she got me into volunteering and really seeing what actual homeless people are like, because there's a bunch of stereotypes where they're bad, they do drugs, and they're just horrible people. But once you actually get to know them, which a lot of this event does, you actually get to see that they're actually really nice people.
This picture here I seen in Amish country. It's a field, cornfield, and it was a church built by the Amish way out in the field, and I was really down upon my luck at the time, and I walked upon this church and I just got overwhelmed with God's spirit. So it's something I always keep in my mind, and that spot's like a beautiful picture to me for fellowship, because that's why I drew it.
I actually feel really sad because there's a lot of homelessness out there, and many people are really oblivious to it or are purposely oblivious to it because they don't want to they don't want to see it, they don't want to know about it, they just want to pretend it's not there. And so it's really sad to see that some of these people, like they're, again, really great people, and some of these people just don't want to help, don't want to see it, so it's really sad. But it also makes you feel really grateful for what you have and the family you have, the roof over your head, the food on every table, because a lot of these people don't even have that.
So at Piecing Community Together on those second Thursdays, our tagline is awareness, food, and fun. So what occurs at Piecing Community Together?
So there is a few different art projects that we've gotten started that we're building. So over time, different pieces will come together that will form hopefully an art project that could go up around town. One is a play on a traditional cardboard sign, but really trying to either share in words or in pictures some sort of someone's personal perspective. And you don't have to be impacted by homelessness. It could be your neighbor. It could be what you see in the work that you do serving the community. But using art and using art supplies to really kind of bring a story out on that typical cardboard sign. We've done some work with canvas and with puzzle pieces and other things, but we're really hoping that through building relationship that we'll be able to really get some art pieces together. And I think you'll probably go into that a little bit further later. We have games available and out on the table, and sometimes it's a movie, just bringing in some of that fun element.
Yes.
You know, opportunities for, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking if you've never just sat down at the table with someone you don't know.
Right.
So to just come to an event and sit down and to just say hello, if there's a puzzle out there that you're working on together, if there's a card game, those kinds of things can help people get to know each other and can become a vessel for that cooperation and that communication to take place. And then there's always live music. I've found myself many a time just sitting in my chair rocking out because the music is that good. You know, our local musicians that come together for that. And I think just doing that, just coming to the room and being there and being present, that awareness automatically happens. By being in community together, you're automatically starting to see somebody else's perspective. You know, not just the homeless population, but seeing the perspective of Trina in the kitchen and her team and how hard they're working. There are people that are dedicating hours and hours of themselves to just be there and to make this opportunity happen. So all of those different components, like a puzzle piece, come together in unity.
To create a whole.
Yes. Yeah.
So I remember inviting some friends over to PCT, and they asked me, so what do we do? And I said, you go find somebody you don't know and you talk to them. And you just find out, you know, what brought them here. How did they hear about the event? I remember when we did our first event and I gathered some stuff to bring from home, and I felt like, oh my gosh, I didn't know what to expect. And everybody just played with the chessboard. And it was really cool because it was like Elise Huey's daughter was playing with this homeless man chess.
Yep.
And just seeing that, I loved that. I loved seeing that we really just are people.
Yes. Ty, what have you noticed?
Well, first off, the music that has been graciously donated to us, has been spectacular, and the musicians have gone out their way to perform above and beyond what you would expect for a free event. That being said, come out and hear the music. Just of your local community, you'll learn a lot of interesting things about people you had no clue about. As we talk about stories, that happen during these events, there's so many that are memorable. But when the kids are involved, and there's no pretentious between the different groups. The kids are there helping, and so happy, to be able to give to what we call at the Cooperative Ministry our everyday congregation.
Yes.
Which is, amazing when you see the kids not think about themselves, and they're just giving. And then to see the homeless people, everyday congregants, teach, and be able to give of themselves, something that they don't get to do very often.
That's right.
And a lot of them have way more ability and talents to give than you'd ever imagine.
Absolutely.
Yes, and the community doesn't know that. And when they see that happen, it's amazing.
Right.
It changes lives.
Yeah.
Trina, what have you seen?
I've seen people come together. I love seeing different organizations in town just coming and hanging out with everybody just at the same table. And so when I do get to sneak out of the kitchen, I see people laughing and having fun, and it brightens my day.
Well, for me, personally, in sitting at the artwork table, seeing not only our homeless population, but the children come over and want to do some artwork and to do painting for the very first time and make a mess and have a blast doing it.
Yeah.
Or being read to by somebody that wants to read from the children's library there. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking of that Samantha Geary, the children's librarian, our local public library, sending over, an employee of theirs, just sitting there in the middle of the floor, 2 feet away from the garbage can. Kids are climbing all over. They're reading stories. They're engaged. They're talking about it. The people that are there that are eating, just coming and sitting down and observing. Absolutely one of the highlights for sure.
So what are our hopeful outcomes? And we'll start with you, Nidia.
So I'm really hoping that more of the community members would get involved so that we that are here can maybe step back a little bit, because I know that we all have like super busy schedules. And although we absolutely love doing this event, it would be nice to have other people come in and step up and give us some of their ideas also as to what they see this possibly becoming.
Absolutely. Heidi?
For me, I'm super passionate about the art component. We've already met with the Linfield Art Department once. We have another meeting coming up. We are kind of breaking for the fall. But it definitely is looking like we're going to move forward in partnership with them. And some Linfield art students might be able to build relationship with some individuals that have been impacted by homelessness and really use art to tell their story.
Yes.
And help kind of round out and complete some of the projects that we've already had to kind of develop that component. That could, if you're a winery owner and you display art, maybe we could get in on that rotation, or some of the local galleries. And not only have this event, but use it to create something that we can bring out into the community in all of these other facets.
So let's talk about the traveling art pieces, because it could be two. It could be the puzzle pieces framed and go out, and it could be the cardboard signs, or both.
Right. Yeah.
So let's talk about that for a moment.
I envision with the cardboard signs, I feel like, especially when they're displayed together, some of them were shown in the video that was on a little bit ago.
Right.
But when there's an opportunity to create a collage of sorts and really put some together that not only are vivid and powerful, but that also maybe represent some of the different groups and at-risk populations that are regularly impacted by homelessness. There's multiple layers that this could be looked at from that perspective, and it's a good opportunity to bring awareness to that side of it as well.
Right.
One of the things we talked about when we were first bringing this together, 3.5 million Americans are one paycheck away from being homeless themselves. So how do we use this to bring some of that information to light and for people to really relate to on a personal level? Veterans are high at risk for being, not only homeless but chronically homeless and not being able to get out of the cycle of crisis. And so all of those components, I think, could come together with some level of representation if we're able to do that.
Well, we've defined 10 possible scenarios of homelessness as part of our background so that we can create the artwork to encompass all of those 10 different situations. And so I'm hopeful not only for the cardboard signs but the puzzle pieces to be able to go out to wineries, to local churches, to galleries, to really express that there is no difference between us and anyone else, that the homeless population deserves the same accolades as everyone else. They have the same potential, they have the same creativity, and that's what it can be.
Right.
And I also like to add, we provide a lot of resources as well at these events. We have at least Howie always at every event providing applications for the housing authority, not just the homeless population, but to anybody
Right.
that would like to come to these events. I mean, there's multiple resources that we can provide. There's hygiene kits that are available. We provide dog food. Homeward Bound donates food for us. It provides for anybody who needs it. So that being said, use it as a chance to connect with the community. But if you need resources, come and check us out as well. We might be able to help you with the gap that you're experiencing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the person that maybe you haven't been able to meet for whatever reason could possibly be at Pacing Community together, just
Yeah.
sitting down and having dinner with you.
So let's quickly, we've got about 7 minutes left. Trina, would you like to talk about the food and how that works?
Yes. So I'm really excited that so many community members and businesses have been involved. We've had McMinnville Adventist Christian School. We've given them a list of stuff we needed, and they've gotten the children involved, and they've got cans of stuff to make chili with.
Sure.
And that was just really amazing. The Sage and the Mission Tortilla Chips. We've gotten a lot of donations that way. We've also have had monetary donations from a couple other businesses in the area.
Very good. Nidia, would you like to talk about the music and how you prepare for that and book it?
So I hit up all my musician friends lots of times to give me information about other musician
Do
friends
answer
that they
back to you
have.
anymore?
They still do. Luckily, they still do, because the ones that have performed at PCT have seen just how amazing it is. And so they are always willing to recommend somebody, and they're always able to get that other person pumped up to come too. And we've had, like, Lennox has come twice now because he just was like, that was amazing. So, and I just love that people see the value, that musicians see the value in coming and donating of their talent.
Absolutely. So Heidi, how about the games and such?
The games I talked about a little bit before, and it's really kind of open and pre-natured. So we'll have stuff on individual tables. It's just there and accessible, and then we always have a table out where we have other things. But again, just an opportunity to do something together.
Yeah, I've seen chess and Monopoly and a lot of different Twister. Yeah,
There's
Taboo.
been cards, taboo, a dice.
I'm undefeated, so if anybody
I love it.
Yeah.
So you heard about the artwork already, but it's really an incredible thing to see people sit down at the table and make these signs up, because some of the things that they say on these signs are so personal and so incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, they can definitely rent your heart for sure.
And then there's the free items, which we have talked about a little bit. The hygiene kits, the T-shirts, umbrellas, all locally donated to make sure that people have what they need. The
Yeah.
purses.
Purses, we had a volunteer just reach out to us and say, I want to do this. She went and she purchased secondhand purses, a large number of them, and she filled them with anything and everything a woman might need or want. To get through their day, snacks and toiletries and socks.
Huge need.
Yeah.
Socks,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
So just somebody being touched and reaching out and saying, I want to do this.
So let's talk about funding. Originally, Hope on the Hill had a small budget that we could utilize for a while.
Correct.
But we've run out of that budget. We've recently been mailing out and emailing our letter for support.
Yeah. So, I would say to be just so fortunate and blessed that we're really looking at $200 a month to do this. The fact that you are feeding 130 people sometimes on $150, and it is amazing, and it's not only a blessing, but you work incredibly hard. The amount of time and effort that goes into finding what's on sale and what's available, and how do we pair that with our donations, and changing that up at the last minute. So, currently we're doing it on $200 a month, and
Right.
we now are reliant on sponsorships and other things. Hope on the Hill, we have a little bit of a contingency. If there was a month, we're going to make sure that it happens,
Right.
that a sponsorship doesn't step up. But we also have, and you have a team of people that just work extraordinarily hard to make sure that we're able to do that and we're able to keep this going. You know, the co-op and the facility, the commercial kitchen, you know, that's also a big part, having a convection oven at your disposal to be able to work magic.
Yeah.
So
would you like to talk about that a little bit? Because I know you need volunteers.
I do. I do have a team, but again, they're so committed and they're there every Thursday, and so I would like to create a bigger team. Usually I need 3 to 8 people in the kitchen, also out serving. And it's fun and we have a great time. Like there's never a time that it gets, you know, we have an awesome time in there, and so we do need volunteers.
well, and just back to the funding really quick, you brought up the McMinnville Adventist School. So if there's another school or a group, you know, pick spaghetti and then have people bring in the garlic bread and the noodles and spaghetti and tomatoes and just whatever is necessary for those components. That's a really great way to support it and work well with what you're doing.
So that was my next question. How can community members get involved? So this is organic for all of you.
If they want to host a food drive for us, I'm sure that Trina could give them a list of items that she could utilize. That would be amazing. Or, you know, even if they want to send monetary donations, that works too. But I think that if they can, like when you talk about the school, like I really did love that the kids did that.
Yeah.
That we were like, this is what we're going to do, and then each classroom was responsible for a certain amount of items, and they just that was.
And then the
was
children's
incredible to me.
choir came in and sang.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they made placemats. They made their own
Yes.
artwork that they wanted people to put down as placemats to eat on, and to have that component of it. So it really rounded it out. We need artists. You know,
Yes.
we're talking about the Linfield Art Program. If you're an artist and you're interested in getting involved, absolutely. To set up, to take down, to do some of the maintenance and cleaning before and after the event so that we're able to do it. To put together kits. You know, sometimes we do have where the items are donated, but they're not separated out.
Right.
They're not ready to go. So there's a lot of opportunity, I think,
And
for the community.
ideas as well.
Yeah. So Paul, would you bring up the websites, both for the Facebook page and the Hope on the Hill website? We're to our very last question. I know that went really fast, but I want to give all of you an opportunity to answer this question. What is your favorite part of piecing community together on second Thursdays of every month? And we'll start with you, Nidia.
So my favorite part is the fact that I tell my kids we're going to PCT tonight, and they're super excited. They are super excited. Like, that is their favorite night of the month.
Awesome.
And just the fact that they can see the homeless people as people, just
No
to me,
separation.
yeah, that just means to me that piecing community together is a success as far, like, in my household.
Yeah. Heidi?
I would say for me, as a stakeholder that provides a lot of services and works to provide services, there's a lot of really great opportunity to do that out there. The Community Connect event, and up at my offices, all of those things. And there's a table. So there's a table, and there I am as a stakeholder that have services or resources to offer, and then there's you, somebody else on the other side in need of those services. And at Piecing Community Together, there is no table, there is no barrier, there is no separation. If you're with the Oregon Health Authority and you want to come talk about getting insurance and health resources, you get a plate and you sit down. You don't get to set up a table, you don't have your flyers out, you just grab a plate. And to just have that where everybody's on the same side of the table, that's my favorite part.
Ty?
My favorite part, and everybody knows, is the fellowship. I love watching the community come together in a way where everybody's treated the same and fed, and the food is wonderful. Trina, you've done a great job.
You are.
Trina?
So my favorite part is I've had friends come, but they're teenagers. They're preteens. They love to come and serve. And so for us to give an opportunity for these young adults to give back to their community, it's absolutely amazing to watch.
For me, it is just watching the faces of all of our population, whether it be community members and or our homeless, and I don't know what to call them anymore, because homelessness is really a connotation of strange, but it's not that. We're all human beings.
Yeah.
We're all God's children. To see all of that come together in one place, for the entire community to come together and wrap themselves around each other in one place, has been the best part for me.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, Heidi Lindell.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Nidia Wheeler. Thank you, Ty Williams. Thank you, Trina Long. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. So our microphone volumes should be down. You all did great. You did super great. Because you were so nervous about being on, and you were so natural.